Welcome back to the second hour. I got to give it up again. I got to give another big round of applause for Todd Smith. I just have to. Really just unbelievable work. Unbelievable work that he and his team have done to keep longevity alive when it wasn't sexy, right? When longevity was in the formative years, when people were looking down their nose at naturopathic physicians, at network marketing, at the whole nutritional supplement thing. Todd Smith, Blake Graham, the whole Utah team kept longevity alive. And the stuff that they did, I mean, like, who knew about the experience in Australia? Who knew? That needs to be talked about more. We need to make a CD about that, for goodness sake. You know, how does that saying go? The only thing necessary for evil to exist is for good men and women to do nothing. Well, guess what? We're doing something every day here to raise people up into the undiscovered country, give people a tour, welcome people with open arms into the undiscovered country of science-based, clinically verified medical nutrition. Let's go to California now and see what Dave is up to. Hey, Dave, thanks for the phone call. You are live. Come in, Dave. Are you with me? Hello, Dave. I hear you. I hear you reaching for the phone, Dave.
I wasn't sure if you're calling me. I'm in Sacramento, and I take care of a guy that it feeds through his stomach. He has a tube going directly into his stomach.
Yikes.
He's been taking longevity formulas for at least 3 months now. And the problem that's come up is some of his medical people are questioning the dose. What is a toxic dose of selenium, chromium, vitamin A, vitamin D, and vitamin E?
Massive. I mean, have them look it up. You want to ask them. Number one, do they have any training in medical nutrition? You want to ask them these questions. Number one, have you had any training in medical nutrition?
Okay.
Number two, please define a vitamin. Tell me what a vitamin is. I want you to tell me what's a vitamin. Number three, what's an essential nutrient? How many are there? And can you name the essential nutrients? Now, if they can't answer those questions, then they have no business having any opinion whatsoever about therapeutic doses of medical nutrition. So you want to fight fire with fire. You want to throw it right back in their faces and get them to, hopefully see that they're just walking inside of waters that they shouldn't be in whatsoever. They have no idea what they're talking about, quite frankly. Everything that he's taking is an essential nutrient. And the toxic doses of these things are, you have to take massive amounts of them. How's the guy doing, by the way, that you've been giving the longevity stuff to? How's he been in the last couple of weeks?
He's been improving. However, he's looking for more weight gain, and it's not been coming very steadily.
Well, weight gain, that's one thing and one thing only. Weight gain is one thing and one thing only, more calories. So one of the easiest ways to get really good calories into his body that the body can metabolize relatively easily is to get a Vitamix, get some almonds, throw the almonds in the Vitamix with a little bit of salt, press frappe, grind the almonds up into a liquid, paste, boom, just like that. That's what the Vitamix does. You can make your own almond butter and put that in the feeding tube with a little bit of honey. Put that in the feeding tube with a little bit of honey. Immediately made almond butter with salt and honey, loaded with calories. It's loaded with calories.
Can you do that with a NutriBullet?
Yeah, yes, you can. You betcha you can. Absolutely.
Okay, question. His epiglottis is currently not functioning. It will not close. The valve will not close. Can all this nutrition help to get the valve to close?
Well, it's entirely possible because here's the deal, right? The only reason that valve doesn't close, it's one of two things. Either it's a neurological problem that the nerves that go to that have been damaged by something. Why does he have a feeding tube? Is he a cancer patient?
He had a tumor in his neck, and they finally had to cut it out and give him radiation and chemo.
Yeah, so it was the radiation probably that messed up the flap, the epiglottis. Probably the radiation that messed that up, if I had to guess. Because that's a really hard structure of the body to harm. It's a really hard structure of the body to harm. You have to really do a directed therapeutic there, like drink something nasty all of the time or radiation, right? It was probably the radiation that did it. So here's what I know about all of this stuff, Dave, right? Here's what I know. Most of the time, the thing that harms people is conventional medical treatment. Most of the time, if his health practitioners are so concerned about his health, then where were they when the MDs prescribed radiation and chemotherapy? Because radiation and chemotherapy for this type of cancer is ineffective. It does not work. It does not work. Where were they when the oncologist recommended these treatments? The oncologists know they don't work. Why do they recommend them? Because it's a for-profit industry and they have to make money. So they give chemotherapy not because it helps the patient, but because to make money. They give radiation not because it helps the patient, but to make money. And more often than not, they mess the radiation up and they cause harm into the bargain, especially if they're using the older radiation stuff. You can make the argument that the newer radiation stuff is much more dialed in, but still, the tumor is not the damn disease. The tumor is the result of the disease. The tumor is the result of the disease. And does chemotherapy do anything to get to the cause of it? No. Does radiation do anything to get to the cause of it? No. In a perfect world, all that radiation does is eliminate the cancer cells. What caused the cells to become cancerous in the first place? Nobody knows. So where were the healthcare practitioners when this guy was up against it and they were recommending these therapeutics that completely messed him up? So much so that he has to be on a feeding tube now. Where were they then? They were persona incognito. That's where they were then. You can tell them to go shove it where the sun doesn't shine.
They are still persona incognita. And let me tell you one other thing. They are prescribing about 4 or 5 different drugs to him for diabetes, for prostate, and for high blood pressure. And I'm not sure if he really needs this junk, and it may be complicating his recovery from whatever else he's going through.
Well, of course, type 2 diabetes, from our point of view, is a multiple mineral deficiency, and you can support and promote the function of the blood sugar relatively easy with the healthy blood sugar pack. High blood pressure, most of the time, is a calcium and a magnesium deficiency. So to support and promote healthy blood sugar, we give more liquid calcium and magnesium. Prostate issues respond beautifully to selenium. You don't have an inflamed prostate because you have a prostate. You don't have an inflamed prostate because you have a deficiency in a prostate drug, right? It's nonsense. So all of these things we can make headway with because we have science-based, clinically verified therapeutics developed and delivered by licensed physicians, the intention of which are to support and promote the structure and function of all of these areas of his body. So if it were me or were he my patient in a state in which I was licensed, he wouldn't be on any prescription medications whatsoever. We would manage all of this stuff with medical nutrition, and he never would have gotten the radiation and chemo. He might have had the surgery, but he never would have gotten...
They cut the tumor out.
Yeah, then it always grows back. 100% of the time when they cut the tumor out, it grows back unless it's a breast cancer tumor that they get soon enough, but what they do there is they hack the whole breast off. Or if it's because there are certain tumors that are organ specific, and that, breast cancer will only show up in the breast, right? Prostate cancer will only show up in the prostate. It can spread from there to other parts of the body, but if you hack the breast off before it gets time to spread, well, that's considered a cure. It's nonsense. That's like saying, cut your legs off, and that's a cure for tingling in your toes. We don't have any more tingling in your toes. And this is what we've come to, man. So
this stuff is really like when you listen to the whole story and you hear the whole truth. This really is common sense. A lot of it. But right now we're trying to. He really would like the patient would like to eat normally, and so we're trying to everything we can. I think what we need to do is get rid of all those drugs because I don't think he needs them anymore. They're attacking selenium, chromium, vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and they're probably attacking the very things that are going to make him healthier and relieve him of the need for all these medications, right?
And it's his body, it's not theirs. He can do whatever the hell he wants, right?
Exactly. He's in charge, and he's telling them.
There's no problem with toxicity with this stuff. Zero. There's zero problem with toxicity for this stuff. Every once in a while, it's possible to overdo it with selenium. But if you overdo it with selenium, you start to get fishy, garlicky breath. Your hair starts to get dry or brittle, or you get funky fingernails. And that happens years in advance of any organ damage that selenium can possibly produce at an above normal dose. So there's no harm and no foul. If somebody's taking selenium and any of these things start to happen, you just back off on the dose by 2 capsules, it all goes away, and there's no harm and no foul. Again, these people have no clinical experience with this type of stuff, and they should just stay the hell out of it. They should stay away from this domain because they have no idea what they're talking about. Now, the epiglottis is cartilage, no different than the cartilage in your shoulder or your knee or your hips. So, to support and promote the healthy structure and function of cartilage in the epiglottis, give him glucogel. Give him glucogel. Have him take the glucogel liquid because he's on a feeding tube. I would do 1 bottle of Glucogel Plus, liquid Glucogel Plus, per 50 pounds of body weight per month. 1 bottle of liquid Glucogel Plus per 50 pounds of body weight per month. Don't worry about the other nonsense. He's good to go. God bless you for taking a stand for another human being who's not you, Dave. You get the gold star today. Keep up the fight, brother, because you are the last best hope your community has. Stick around, folks. Eric in California is next. Welcome back, everybody. Dr. Peter Glidden here with you on May 7th, 2014, and the phones are lit up like a Christmas tree. Let's stay in California and see what's going on with Eric. Hey, Eric, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Dr. Glidden, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure, man. How can I help?
A couple things. I probably should have called in before I started longevity. My questions are, I've been on it for about 14 days. My symptoms are extreme spine pain. Feels like, man, I've got like 5 discs out, which I've had an MRI, completely negative. All my muscles from my knees to my neck are, it feels like I worked out for a month straight. And then so on the longevity, I don't know if I'm taking the right amounts because it's almost like it's getting a little worse. Like my muscles just
That's I'm so glad you called, man. That will happen if you take not exactly the right stuff, because in the human body it's all about the balance, right? And in the holistic methodology, this is of maximum importance because we don't want to just give 1, 2, 3, or 4 things in large amounts like the MDs do, right? They'll say, take 10,000 units of vitamin D, right? Or, you got to inject vitamin C. You need 20 grams of vitamin C a day, like Linus Pauling. It's nonsense. When you give the body the full boat, right, everything that it needs in doses appropriate for your body weight and appropriate for whatever it is you've got going on, it works. When you don't do that, you're going to throw a little imbalance into the system, and things are going to become aggravated along the way. Now, I'm very interested in your case here, Eric. So tell me, how many medical professionals have you been to try to dial in a diagnosis here?
Wow, it's going on 15 months, and I know, it's crazy.
How many people have you seen? How many people have you seen, do you figure?
15.
15 people in 15 months, and nobody can tell you what's what, right?
No, blood work is definitive. They think everything from Lyme disease to extreme arthritis, lupus. They can't pin anything definitive.
Yeah, don't you just love that? I mean, doesn't that just make you all feel warm and fuzzy about your medical insurance premium checks that you've been writing every day for the last 20 years? You know, because heaven forbid something goes wrong. And isn't that what the insurance companies tell you? Oh, you need insurance. Oh, you need insurance because, oh, my God, when something goes wrong, you're going to need access to the MDs. Something went wrong. You've had access to the MDs for 15 months, and they have left you hanging, and they are completely unapologetic about it. They're completely unconflicted about it, and meanwhile, you suffer. It's a big, bad voodoo daddy. Look, brother, it sounds to me like it's a fibromyalgia-esque syndrome. And by the way, fibromyalgia is just a fancy schmancy smorgasbord term for inflammation in the muscles, ligaments, tendons, and joints, right? I mean, you could honestly say that every human being living and breathing at one moment in time experiences fibromyalgia because, your muscles, ligaments, bones, and joints hurt from time to time just because. So, if you want to give a name to it, that's what I would do, but names in this regard are mostly irrelevant. What is relevant is that we support and promote the proper structures of your body. And, in this case, right, it's bones, ligaments, muscles, and tendons that need help, right? Bones, ligaments, muscles, and tendons. Are we in agreement with that?
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to tell you that the single most important thing to take when you are attempting to do this is the trace mineral selenium. Selenium is of maximum importance here, right? So if this were a blood pressure issue, calcium and magnesium would be of maximum importance. If this was a heartburn issue, calcium and salt would be of maximum importance. If this were specifically a ligament or a tendon issue, glucosamine sulfate and chondroitin sulfate and hyaluronic acid would be necessary. But with overarching musculoskeletal stuff like you've got, selenium, baby. Selenium all the way. I don't care how much you weigh. Here's what I want you to take. I want you to get 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium in 1 month. I want you to take 12 selenium a day for 4 weeks, 4 between breakfast and lunch, 4 between lunch and dinner, 4 between dinner and bed. On top of, stick around with me, Eric. I'll dial in the rest for you when we come back. So glad that you called, man. So very glad that you called. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. A lot of big bada booms today. A lot of big bada booms today. Hope you're learning something. I sure am. Let's go back and finish up with Eric from California. So, Eric, how much do you weigh? What's your current body weight?
170.
Okay, 170 pounds. And what longevity supplements have you been taking so far?
I have been taking the Ultimate Enzymes, the Starter Pack, the Glucose Gel, and the Root Beer Belly.
All right, so when you're finished with the Root Beer Belly, you can stop it. When you're finished with the Glucose Gel, you can stop it. And the Healthy Pack that you're taking, does it have powdered calcium or liquid calcium?
Powder.
All right, so here's what I'd like you to do for your next order, okay? Immediately, I want you to order 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. 4 bottles of Ultimate Selenium, and I want you to take 4 capsules 3 times a day. Between meals, okay? 4 capsules 3 times a day between meals. In your next monthly order, I'd like you to order these things. 4 selenium. Well, figure out how many selenium you'll need, right? Because we're already kind of in the middle of the month. I want you to get 1 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. You're going to have to order these separately as opposed to a pack. 1 Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. You're already taking that. That's the orange Beyond Tangy Tangerine. I want you to get 1 of those a month. I'd like you to get 2 bottles of Beyond Osteo FX Liquid. Beyond Osteo FX Liquid. That's the liquid calcium. I'd like you to take 1 ounce of that in a couple of ounces of orange juice in the morning and 1 ounce of that in a couple of ounces of orange juice immediately before bed. 2 ounces a day. You'll go through 2 bottles a month. And the final thing is EFA Plus. EFA Plus. Please order 1 bottle of the EFA Plus and just take 3 a day with meals. You can take all 3 at once. You can spread them out. I don't care what you do, but take that supplement with a meal. Now, we've got the Beyond Tangy, we've got the Beyond Osteo, we've got the EFA Plus, and we've got the Selenium. That's an excellent program for you, and if that doesn't produce remarkable results in 21 days, I will eat my hat. But to accelerate your chances of a remarkable outcome rapidly, you must stop eating the 10 bad foods. Are you familiar with that list?
No, sir.
Okay, well, this is your lucky day, man. On my website, drglidden.com, or my favorite, fireyourmdnow.com.
I like that one.
Yeah, right? Just scroll down on the front page until you see there's a list. There's a little link, and you can download that list for free. Give us your email address. You download the list for free. Now, tomorrow night, as fate would have it, I'm giving a free worldwide webinar. We already have 325 people registered for it. I think we're going to beat 500. I think we're going to be over 500 attendees tomorrow night. It's free, 8 o'clock Central Time. I'm going to give a 45-minute webinar which explains why each of the 10 bad foods is bad for you. And it's a lot of fun, man. These webinars are just a lot of fun because they're live. You're in a chat room, a webinar room with hundreds, literally hundreds of people from all over the world who share your point of view about holistic medicine. It's a fantastic community of people to be, to hang out with. Quite frankly, we do it through Google Hangout. It's a blast, and tomorrow night it's free, so check it out. And the information for that, ladies and gentlemen, by the way, right there on the front page of my website. It's right there on the front page of my website. It's the first thing that pops up. Go there now and register for tomorrow night's event, 8 o'clock Central Time. You don't want to miss this. It's free. There's a link there that you can email to everybody in your family. I mean, if you've ever had people in your life that you wanted to get on the holistic train but you didn't know how, invite them to tomorrow night's webinar. We're going to blow minds tomorrow night, and we're going to unite Longevity Nation worldwide. I can't wait. So that's what you need to do, Eric. Eliminate the 10 bad foods. Dial in those supplements, but then I want you to make me a promise, man. I want you to call me back in 2 weeks. Once you've done 12 selenium a day for 2 weeks and you've eliminated all 10 bad foods, I want you to call me back live on the air and tell me how you're doing.
I appreciate it.
All right. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the phone call. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, I hope. That's fireyourmdnow.com or DRGLIDDEN. That's drglidden.com. Register right now for tomorrow night's free worldwide webinar where I explain the 10 bad foods and why they're bad. You can't beat free. I mean, can you beat free? I don't know how you can beat free. Check it out, ladies and gentlemen. That is tomorrow night. When we come back from this break, we're going to be with Sharon from New York. Sharon from New York is up next, unless we have time right now, which we may. I may have gotten my time signatures incorrect. So let's just go to New York and talk to Sharon from New York about fatigue. Hey, Sharon, thanks for the phone call. You are live.
Hi, Dr. Glidden. Thank you so much, and God bless you for all that you're doing for us. Now, I have an issue with stress, but let me say this first, that I was diagnosed in 2000 with lupus, but I'm doing much better. I've been cured by that, from that, thank God. But I'm under so much stress that I'm constantly tired, fatigued, and I don't sleep well at night. So I just want to know what foods to eat and vitamins, or what do I do?
Well, you could. Awesome, you called the right person. So
Great.
tell me about the sleep issue. Is it difficulty falling asleep, or is it difficulty staying asleep? What's the deal?
Staying asleep. I toss, and then I wake up with my head feeling so tight that the base of my neck hurts.
All right.
My shoulders.
All right. So how tall are you, and how much do you weigh?
5'5", about 135.
All right, that's great. How old are you, by the way?
That many. 49.
Okay, great. So here's what I would recommend. How'd you hear about us, by the way? How'd you hear about this radio show?
Oh, man, actually, my sister, she's in Brooklyn, New York, and she told me about you, that someone gave her your number, so.
Okay, great. Well, so we have, we represent a worldwide company that's a network marketing company that disseminates our health recovery formulas through their individual networks. So when I tell you what to take, you want to get back with your sister and find out how she found out about longevity and go there to order the products, because otherwise everything gets all messed up, and that's no fun. And if you just go on the internet to try to get this stuff, you'll be nailed with the full retail price, and that ain't pretty. So you want to go through a distributor to get this, and, you know, we like to maintain the integrity of who told who, right? I mean, that's only the right thing to do, and that's what we do. So get with your sister. But here's what I would take if I were you, and if you don't experience a noticeable, measurable change within 4 weeks of starting this program, I will eat my hat. So here it goes.
Okay.
All right? I'd like you to order one bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0.
I'm sorry, Beyond what, Tangerine?
Yeah, it's a weird name, right? I mean, I don't know who the heck named this. It's called Beyond Tangy, Tangy, Tangerine. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. 2.0. It's the new one. It's called 2.0. Tangy Tangerine 2.0. One bottle of that. You need 2 bottles of a liquid calcium supplement called Beyond Osteo, O-S-T like Thomas, E-O, Beyond Osteo FX.
S as in Frank and X.
Correct. Beyond Osteo Frank X-Ray, right? 2 bottles of that. 1 bottle of EFA Plus, like Edward Francis Albert Plus, EFA Plus. 1 bottle of EFA Plus. And 2 bottles of Ultimate Selenium. You spell that S like Sam, E, L like Larry, E, N like Nancy, I-U-M. Ultimate Selenium. 2 Ultimate Selenium, 1 EFA Plus, 2 Beyond Osteo FX Plus, and 1 bottle of Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0. Now, that's the stuff you need to take into your body every day. And there are 10 foods that you need to stop eating, I need to stop eating, your sister needs to stop eating, everybody on the freaking planet. I heard that too. I got the website. All right, so you need to dial that list in. Join us for the webinar tonight, tomorrow night, if you can. It's going to be a lot of fun. But you need to stop eating. All right, good. So stop eating those 10 foods. Get those supplements. Call your sister up. Figure out how to get them, and call me back after you've been doing them for 2 weeks.
Thank you so much.
Well, you can thank me after it works. Sharon, I appreciate your trust, though. I mean, I really do. So give it a try. You're going to love how you feel. An undernutrified body is a pain. An undernutrified body is a problem. An undernutrified body is no fun to walk around planet Earth in. No different than an automobile that hasn't been tuned up. I mean, if you had a car, an automobile, you know, it's got 20,000 miles on it, 30,000 miles on it, 50,000 miles on it, 70,000 miles on it, 100,000 miles on it, and it's never, ever, ever been tuned up. How do you think it's going to run? Like crap. But you're going to get used to the car running like crap. You're going to get used to having to take 5 minutes to start it. You're going to get used to having to lean on the brakes 100 yards before the stop sign. You're going to get used to the car not being able to accelerate like all the other cars. You're going to get used to it. That's what's happened to you and your body. You've gotten used to mediocrity. You've gotten used to walking around on planet Earth in a completely undernutrified body. And through no fault of your own, you have let the food industry tell you what to eat. You've let General Mills and Monsanto and Procter & Gamble tell you what food is good for you. Now, do you think it's smart to let the people who make the food tell you what food to eat? I don't think it is. Our message is simple. Nutrify your body with 90 essential nutrients appropriate for your body weight. It's easy. We have it dialed right in for you. We have healthy packs which support and promote the structure and function of different areas of your body on top of a holistic foundation. And we advise elimination of 10 foods. And if you do these 2 things, stop eating the 10 bad foods, stop putting diesel fuel into an unleaded engine, for goodness sake, and just tune the car up, why don't you? Just give your body a chance. Give your body a break. Give your body the essential nutrients that it needs. For the first time in your life, you're going to be driving around with a tuned-up car, and that is all the difference in the world. It's night and day. It's night and day. You have no idea what you're missing, which is why longevity from a business aspect is a no-brainer, because everybody is under-nutrified. Nobody knows what we know. Everybody needs to know what we know, and when everybody applies what we know, everybody feels better. Now, what's better? Feeling better or feeling worse? Which is better? Feeling better or feeling worse? Well, feeling better is better. If you're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired and broke, you've come to exactly the right place. FireYourMDNow.com. Click on the Join Team Glidden button if you have an interest in the longevity business opportunity. If you found us through your own volition, otherwise get with the person who told you about me and have them show you the ropes. And this is how we're going to change the world, with a gigantic network of the informed. Stick around. Welcome back, everybody. Finishing up today's show. This was one for the record books. Man, that first hour with Todd Smith, my head is still swimming about that. If you weren't able to be here for the first hour, then just listen to the podcast. It was a really interesting interview, and everybody in the world needs to hear that. Let's finish up the show today in California. A lot of calls from California today with Salamina. Hey, Salamina, thanks for the phone call. You are live. Salamina. Hello.
Hello. Hello. How are you, doctor?
I'm good, thanks. You're going to have to speak up a little, Salamina. Your signal's a little weak.
Is that any better?
Oh, that's a lot better. You just came and went again, though. So figure it out.
Okay. Well, can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's much better now, Salamina. Thanks for the phone call. How can I help?
I have a 15-year-old daughter, and she has a chronic Jones fracture. She recently, on Sunday, fractured her foot playing basketball. This is the third time in exactly the same spot on the same foot.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so there's 2 things that are going on there, all right? Number one, I mean, we can't overlook the obvious, right? Her body has run out of the nutrients that it needs to maintain healthy bone and joint tissue, and she has a weak link, and it just happens to be this foot. Everybody has a weak link in their body. With some people, it's their bones, right? Some people, it's their left kidney, or some people, it's their right shoulder, or, their liver, or their eyes, or whatever. Everybody has weaknesses that are baked into the cake. Hers, apparently, are the bones in this foot. But this is not a genetic problem. This is a nutritional problem, because her body just doesn't have the raw materials it needs to make strong and healthy bones. And so when she puts too much stress on the bone, what do you know? It breaks. I mean, everybody breaks with too much stress. Even Superman breaks with too much stress, right?
Yes.
All right. So the one thing here is we need to feed her body the nutrients that it needs to have strong and healthy bones, ligaments, tendons, and joints the way that nature and God intended it to, number one. But number two, and we can't overlook this, she has to stop eating food that's interfering with bone health. She has to stop eating food that's interfering with her body's ability to sort all of this out, right? I mean, it's a patently male metaphor, and excuse me for using it because I overuse it, but if you bought a brand new Lamborghini, right? You win the lottery and you go and buy a brand new Lamborghini, and the engine requires unleaded oil, unleaded fuel. Well, if you put diesel fuel in that engine, that car is going to run like crap if it runs at all, and there's nothing wrong with the car. You just put the wrong fuel in it. Well, it's the same with the human body. The biggest food voodoo daddies, the biggest, baddest foods for bone health are soda pop. Soda pop. Does she drink any?
No, she doesn't drink soda.
She doesn't drink any soda at all. The next biggest bad voodoo daddy would be gluten. It would be wheat, barley, rye, or oats. Does your family eat, conventional grains, wheat, barley, rye, and oats?
They eat some. I would say not excessively. Personally, I don't really, but I was recently introduced to longevity, so I've been kind of sharing that information with them and trying to wean them off it. So this is a problem, right? And if you have them show up at tomorrow night's webinar, and by the way, it's tomorrow night, Thursday night, May 8th, ladies and gentlemen, 8 p.m. Central Time, my free worldwide webinar on the 10 bad foods. I'll explain specifically why wheat, barley, rye, and oats are bad for them, and maybe that will help to turn the nut. But in any event, how much does this young girl weigh? Well, I think she's around 170, 160.
160 pounds. Okay, so the recommendation then would be for 1 month. Well, from our point of view, right, everybody needs to be on the essential nutrients every day for the rest of their life, the same way that we need to take showers and eat food and drink water. You need the essential nutrients. Well,
right.
Here's what I would start her with to have her develop results. It would be one healthy bone and joint pack original formula, one healthy bone and joint pack original formula, and one extra bottle of Beyond Osteo FX liquid. That's one healthy bone and joint pack original formula and one extra Beyond Osteo FX liquid, plus eliminate the 10 bad foods. It's going to produce results within 4 weeks. Have her pay attention to her mood, her energy, her sleep, menstrual cramps specifically. I bet you she has really bad menstrual cramps. In any event, give us a call back in a couple of weeks for the report, and I will look forward to it. Thanks so much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your steadfast advocate for health, God willing, and the creek don't rise.